Stop buying Yeezys. Buy some stonks. It'll help you. Trust me. You might even win the lotto and get a 10xer. Who knows? In today's episode, we're going to take a look at why I started investing, how I started, how much I started with, and kind of where we are today. So if you find value out of this video, please consider subscribing. Destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And let's see where we're at. Hi, I'm Doug, and this is part of my journey. So let's go back to where it started, I guess, and that would be the spring of 2017. Just about to graduate from college, and I'm taking this leadership course, and in that course, one of my classmates was doing a presentation on investing in stocks. I didn't know much about them besides they existed, and yeah, that was about it. In his presentation, he broke down how easy it was to make these trades, buying equity in these companies, and that gave me the sense of, oh, I could actually buy a small portion of these companies, and as they grow, that what I bought, that portion of the company would also grow with it. Same as you think of a total addressable market. As the market grows, anyone that's within that market, as that market grows, they're going to grow too. Even if they're the smaller one, their piece of the pie is going to grow. So if I could invest in these companies that I had a vision for long term, years, if not decades down the road, and they're in these markets that are going to grow as well, why not be a part of that? And that's where I was like, all right, let's look into this. How can we start? So while I was at school, I had a job, paid me about $7.25, $7.50 an hour. Yes, this is in 2017, and I was saving up money just so I could have fun on the weekends and whatnot. It wasn't anything special. But I had a little extra saved up because I had been studying hard for finals, and I put that money into Vanguard's VOO. So VOO, Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF. And I bought 2 shares of that, and it was about, I'm gonna say, just under like 400, 500 bucks for the two. I'll put it on screen here. I saw the value go up, I saw the value go down, kind of fluctuate, and I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And then I started to look into other companies, individual companies rather than ETFs. And what I found was Cisco Systems, and I think might have been GoPro. There's another company that I don't own anymore. But one of my original investments was the ETF, Vanguard's VOO ETF, and Cisco Systems. I still have those shares in Cisco actually right now, and I'm debating selling them to put them into a higher growth potential investment. So I graduate from school and I start working. I'm working as a BHP. I was working with kids with autism. It was amazing, greatest experience, and I'm actually potentially doing that again, just to make some money on the side, and because it's a really good way to give back to those in my community. So, but as I was making money, I was trying to save up for graduate school because I wanted to go and be a physician's assistant, and I needed money to do that. I wasn't gonna take out an exorbitant amount of loans or debt to go to school. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hammer down, I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna invest what I save. And I was like, all right, what can I invest in? Savings account. That's out. That's just money sitting there. Its interest rate is practically zero, and inflation is gonna let that money drift away. So, all right, I could do a CD. The return's not great, and it's locked in for 4 to 5 years generally. All right, I could do a bond. No, bonds also same thing, way too long. All right, stocks like the ETF I bought. 8% generally throughout time, through the up peaks, down, up. It's just going to keep going high. So let's get on this train. The summer of 2017, and I start buying stocks. It's the fall of 2017. I keep buying stocks. I'm buying. I didn't start buying Tesla yet then. Tesla had just broke through $300 pre-split. And I was like, oh, that's really expensive because couldn't afford really expensive shares at the time. And I'll put on screen while I'm talking if you guys can see them. You'll see I wasn't making big trades. These are small increments, and in that TD account, I was getting charged a commission for every trade. I think it was $6.99. So that really sucked. So then I was like, all right, I can't do this. I need to get a return on my money, but I can't buy thousands of shares at a time. So researched, and guess what I found? Robinhood. Like an angel from heaven flying down to us young investors trying to get in that don't have the capital to buy thousands of shares. I signed right up. Now, Robinhood had been around for a little while, but not everyone was using it. It was still up and coming. I was like, all right, I don't have that much money. Let's just do this. It made it really simple. I just deposited money. I'm like, all right, researching over here. These stocks look good. I'm gonna hold them for a while. Let's buy. That. Swipe up. Thank you. Cha-ching. Okay. It made it super easy and I was able to learn through that rather than an extremely complicated way with those other brokers that have since become a lot better in their visuals and tutorials and all that. But Robinhood was just so easy and simplistic. So I spent the next probably year and a half adding up, loading up on shares till about, I want to say I maybe got up to like 18 to 20,000 in value of the account, and then things started to go. We had a couple 2xers. We didn't have any. I don't think the only massive 4x stock we had was Tesla, and that I don't even know, 10x, no, 15 actually. I think I ended up getting 1,500%. Bought me this house, so that's cool, or at least got me the down payment on this house. So I spread out my wealth. I saved. I didn't spend. I don't buy clothing. My main expense is food and travel with gas and just maintenance of the car. Housing expense was around $700, $800 a month. With utilities, which was really nice. So I found a place that was within my means that I could afford, and I lived there. And I worked hard, kept my head down, made mistakes along the way, bad trades, bad investments, tried to get into options trading without doing my due diligence in the space, and I got burned, lost a couple grand. But we learn, we move forward, and we find our strengths. And more recently, I've found that my strength is just long-term. I feel like I have a very good idea of where companies will go. Now, none of my theses have been proven besides Tesla, but that was inevitable. Because it's such long-term. My outlook is such long-term that it just hasn't happened yet. But it will happen, and I'm excited for you to be there when it does happen. Maybe we'll throw a barbecue. That'd be kind of cool. Kept our head down, saved, invested, researched, invested. We did that for about a year or two, and then I realized that if I just keep doing this, I will be a millionaire. And when you get that realization and realize that it's not as hard as people think, it's hard. It's not easy. The hardest thing is getting out of whatever rut you're stuck in, because everyone gets in a rut or situation in your life. You can't blame the situation. You need to get around it if you want to get past it. And it's so hard to say because I've been stuck in a ton of things. Okay, out of context. My mindset has been stuck. And you just gotta push through and break through that. Don't worry about whose fault it is. If it's your responsibility to get it done, then get it done. It's your life. Live your life. Don't think about other people when you're living your life. Well, think about other people. Be kind to other people. Do nice things. Be as kind. Help as many people as you can. When you help others, I feel like they have worth. If you help them, they help you. It's this give and take. You both feel like you're providing for each other or assisting each other. You're a part of something. And that's the most important thing. Because if you don't feel like you're a part of anything, then you're kind of lost. And I hope we've at some point created something here, and I hope all you watching are a part of it, so that we can create a world that we want to be a part of. Not that we're like, life, ugh. No, life is beautiful. It should be good. Now, parts of life aren't the greatest, but we can get around those, and we can push forward. It's mid 2018, 2019. I was getting ready to go to PA school. Yeah. And I needed a little more experience in the hospital. So I got a certified nursing assistant class and then a job working in a hospital as a CNA. Not the greatest job, but I learned so much, and I wouldn't have traded that job for anything. And to see what nurses and CNAs do every day, every shift, every hour, every minute, thank you. I appreciate you. Working that job, I didn't make enough to invest from that job to live. That job, essentially, I took a pay cut to work there. And when I did that, everything just went like this. And I am now realizing if I had continued to invest during that dip, if I had the money, it would have been exponentially more. That being said, hindsight's 2020, so we move on, all right? Working that job, stocks fly high. My entire portfolio just takes off. Primarily Tesla, Cirrus Logic took off. Wynn Resorts did really well for a while. When I bought back in, Upwork, Apple. And then I decided that, all right, I need to take some gains and put those gains into real estate so that my expenses could go down. Technically, they've gone up, but it takes time. So I sold on the ride up, on the rocket ship to the moon. I sold shares in Tesla and Apple, along with a couple other smaller positions, to put a down payment on this house. Probably one of the best decisions I've ever made, even though I sold lots of Tesla before the split. I was afraid the split would have caused this stock to go down, and it did the opposite. Well, it did go down in the short term, but then it's a lot of money. We'll go through. I want to do a series on full transparency where I go through my full trades for a position and take you guys through my psychology and what I was doing at the time when I bought or sold the equity in those companies. Tesla's going to be an interesting one. And then we'll also do a series on the stocks of my past where I've sold completely out of and where they are today. And if what I put the money in performed better or worse. And to see if you should buy a stock, hold forever. Thank you guys very much for making it to the end of the video. I know this was a little different in my content, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of where I started and where I am now, 5 years later. So it goes to show you don't need much to start, and it'll start to compound. So if you found a value out of this content, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, happy investing. Peace.